Hello again, California, people of Madera County and the United States of America. I don't know how far these videos are going to reach or if they go anywhere at all, but I am going to report them. I did some other stuff prior to the election where I saw a lot of people at the election office. I'm talking about people directing traffic. There was 4 people in one driveway directing traffic, which I thought was total waste. They had a big spotlight out there with a generator running, and I think I counted. I didn't get an exact count, but there was at least 30 people in that election office. I'm talking about between the county recorder's office, the election officials that were wearing the orange, or excuse me, the yellow vests, identifying them as election workers, and those people registering people, and there were several other people in, I believe, the room where the county board meeting meets, and they were kind of spread out a little bit, and that doesn't include the 7 other offices. Now, my concern here with so many of those officials being there was that I looked up what they charged or what it costs to do an election, and the most recent thing they have posted was in 2024 of a 1,160,000 for an election. I don't know how they justify that, but I can tell you this. I spoke to an election worker. He told me that I asked him for an approximate count on how many people had been in today at about 3 p.m. And he said he went to look it up. I said, I don't need an exact number, just an approximate number. He said about 250 people. And with the $86,000 that the other election worker told me that were registered voters in Madera County, that seemed like an awfully low turnout. So I'm not feeling too confident about the number of people being registered to vote. And these numbers can be easily manipulated, and I'm concerned about it. Okay, I was told in another election that I observed by a deputy sheriff that they used to go and pick up the ballots at people's houses, and that only 500 people in Madera County actually cast a ballot. And with the first election official that I spoke to, he told me that, yesterday there was 10 people that came in and voted, and these numbers just don't jive with what's being reported. Okay, there's a thing called common sense, and mathematics are pretty simple. If you got maybe 260 people casting ballots in one day or 2 days, or that does not even touch the 86,000 registered voters that they claim are registered voters. So maybe there is some validity behind the concern of mail-in ballots. That could be quite possible, and that could be manipulated. It's not that complicated to do something like that. And also, computer programming code. Let me tell you something a little bit about that. Okay, these big data companies like Microsoft, like in Word, or these software programs they sell, and they keep updating, and they stop servicing previous releases of these programs. This is a way for them to make money, collect your private data without a warrant, and they make money off that. They don't pay you for your private data, and they don't collect that data with a warrant. And they may not be government, but they do govern, and they govern through their policy. Now, I appreciate that they can determine their own privacy policy, but they have no right to determine what they do with my private data. I own that, and any infringement upon my device that I own, the phone I own, I'm doing in my home, that's a violation of my expectation of privacy because it's done without a warrant. And that's something else you guys should be concerned about. I don't trust the electronic counting. I don't trust the mail-in ballots. I trust a paper count. That's hard copy evidence of an actual count. And if you could sit there and just watch all day how many people show up on election day, you know what? These people, they're way overpopulated in the employment of the way they're doing their ballots. And I appreciate they're maybe trying to do the cutting edge technology, but that is easily manipulated. And $1.1 million for an election is far, far too much. Print your ballots, 86,000 copies of a ballot. Do the math, 10 cents a copy, or 25 cents a copy. That don't come out to even close to that amount. And why do you need all those people there? Why? I mean, like, if you had maybe 500 people cast a ballot today, I could do that, and I could do that under an hour. Maybe I should be the county recorder, and I'll save you a lot of money because I'll cut all the waste, the fraud, and the abuse. God bless you, Madera, State of California, and United States of America.